Hey, it's Michael Saul, but everybody calls me Tiny, and this video is what's next for Tesla, Nike, and the market, plus Happy New Year and a stock to watch this week. This is stock market analysis for the week of September 10th, 2018. Happy Rosh Hashanah to my Hebrew brethren and sisterin. It's not even a word. All right, if you would like to receive intra-week updates, go to www.attackthemarkets.com, put in your first name, your best email address, follow the instruction, confirm that it was you that actually put in the information, and you will be on the distribution list for the intra-week updates. Join the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/attackthemarkets. If you like what you hear, give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. And to never miss a video when one is put on this channel, click subscribe and then smash that bell. I love when they say smash it, right? And smash the bell in order to receive updates. Okay, so first things first, the market. The S&P 500 hit new all-time highs about a week and a half ago and then started to pull back. Remember, this week was only a 4-day week because of Labor Day. Last week's video, I did say I was looking for us to probably pull back a little bit more. That's what we did. We went down to the 20 EMA, also right at the top of the previous highs that we broke above. So is that all she wrote on the pullback? Well, it could be, because first of all, we have an inverted hammer here. So we want to watch the highs from Friday to see if that gets taken out to the upside. And we've pulled back pretty okay amount comparatively. Right, obviously, I said it wasn't going to be I doubt it would be a big pullback, but if you could see, whoops, I just hate when I start doing this, but hang on, I'll just make a copy and go here. You can see it's about the same as that one, and which is about the same as that one. And then, yeah, okay, this one is probably, let's see, twice the size, right? Just about twice the size. So what we can look for is, if this isn't all she wrote, if we're looking at a symmetrically moving market, a symmetrically harmonical market, I guess you could call it, then we would probably look for something about twice as long here, maybe go down to here, which would be just below the 50-day moving average. And that's fine, too. That's not a big dip or anything like that. I'm not looking for a new bear market or a new correction or a new pullback. I think we have higher prices to be seen at least until the Dow hits new all-time highs, and probably even higher than that. Okay? Yeah, I am pretty perma-bullish here because the market remains strong, and there is nothing technically that is saying, hey, it's time to worry. There's nothing here saying that. Doesn't mean we can't pull back. Okay, that's not what that means. But I mean, look at the moving averages are nice and strong to the upside. Look at the trend, and that's one way to watch the trend, right? Look at the trend, beautiful, pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. And the buyers continue to come in. Yeah, I know they may impeach our president, and yeah, there's a lot of talk about this and that, and who's disgruntled here, and the trade wars there, and what's going on. But the market climbs the wall of worry. Remember that, okay? And nothing here is saying, hey, we're in trouble. Now, if President Trump were to get impeached, or they were to try to impeach him, whatever, would that cause short-term volatility? In my opinion, yes, it would. All right, but in the end, it's going to take something really harsh to break this here. All right, we're acting very nice. The internal indicators are acting very well. They're strong. They're supporting this. I just don't see a reason. Now, I did mention the Happy New Year, the Happy Rosh Hashanah, the Shana Tova, whatever, however you want to say it, right? And there is a seasonal trend, sell Rosh Hashanah, buy Yom Kippur. And that's one of the reasons why I think we may pull back a little bit more. Now, with seasonal trends, for those of you who are new to my video, I don't use them as in-stone timing mechanisms. That's not what I do. What I do with it is I use it as a background. And right now, we can see this is just a small pullback right to the 20 EMA. We know where we are correct in thinking this pullback is over if we take out Friday's highs. But if not, it's always good to map out where we could continue to go down. And my first stop would be the 50-day, where the 50-day is, right? We don't have to go through that. But you could see we pushed through that 50-day without too much trouble sometimes. Right? Sometimes we stop before it. So moving averages are just reference lines. A lot of people go, well, you said it was going to hold the 20. No, I never said that. I said we're looking at the 20 for support, or we're looking at another moving average for resistance above. Okay, it doesn't mean it's going to hold there. And, well, does that sound like I'm on the fence? Yeah, maybe, but I really don't care. Right? There is no perfection in technical analysis. There just isn't. All right, you use reference points and you stack the odds in your favor, and then you measure the risk reward and see if it's worth putting a trade on. Okay? All right, a little hyped up there. Apologies. I'll calm down now and get off the soapbox. Okay, so the Dow still hanging around this line. See if it could bust through. I like the way it's coiling. It's showing a little bit better relative strength than the S&P. Again, don't really care that much about the Dow compared to the S&P. Here's the NASDAQ through the 20. Looks like the 50-day is next for that. Here's the Russell, also pulling back. Watch the 50-day there if we don't confirm a bounce here. And here's the mid-caps, which is a nice little tight flag there. Here's the semiconductors. There we go. Semiconductors still sloppy. Still sloppy. Here's KLA Tanker. Yeah, nasty Thursday. And Friday it was better, but still down. Okay, so this is nasty, and it's just sloppy here, and it's holding the semiconductors back. Here's NVIDIA. If I could spell it right, that would always be great. Pulling back off of new highs down to the 20 EMA. How about Intel? Yeah, Intel, boy, Intel looks like if it loses 46, it could make a quick trip down to 42. Now, again, that's not a huge move point-wise compared to some other stocks, but for Intel, that's a pretty decent-sized move. I mean, it's down from nearly 58 down to 46. That's, better than a 20% decline here. So some would even say Intel's in a quote-unquote bear market, right? But anyway, watch 46 because it looks like it's setting up for a potential support test. Banks, yeah, still consolidating here. Here's Bank of America, still in its try. I mean, pushed out a little bit, but for the most part, it's still in that coil. Here's JP Morgan. Here's Citigroup acting the weaker of the bunch. Okay, but JP Morgan, Bank of America, they're looking okay. How about like a Northern Trust? Watch that 200-day moving average or a Zion. All right, then you got Goldman Sachs. So Goldman Sachs playing ping pong between the 50 and the 200-day moving average. See what gives up first. How about Interactive Brokers? Yeah, Interactive Brokers tried to push down but couldn't. Got to really watch this line in the sand here. If it gives up this 59, it could make for a quick trip down to the 55 area. What about the broker-dealer index, which Interactive is part of? Yeah, kind of similar. Right, it looked like it could be a possible W bottom, but instead, if this breaks 270, watch for a quick move down to 259, 260. How about the biotechs? Are they still acting nice and strong? Well, they're pulling back too. All right, they're pulling back a little bit. Here's Gilead. Right, here's Biogen. Right, here's Amgen. Amgen, okay. Watch the 50-day moving average. Let's look at some glamour stocks. Amazon got cracked Wednesday and Thursday, but held the 20 EMA. Here's the Zuck book. Yeah, we talked about the Zuck book going lower. That's what it's doing. Looks like it wants to retest these March lows at a minimum down here at 149. Don't forget our good friend Paul Schatz. He says that this high will not be taken out for years. This is a multi-year high here on Facebook. We'll see, right? And he's the first one to admit when he's wrong, by the way. But so far, so good. It looks like after this gap down, talked about this pattern setting up. Wasn't technically a bear flag because it's inside of range. But, yeah, got a nice follow-through to the downside here. How about the Alphabet? Yeah, sloppy. Tried to push up, came back down. Go on to watch this 1150 here. The Netflix, yeah, also sloppy. Okay, and Tesla. So, Mr. Musk, not going public, not going private after all, but I think that may have been last week's news. This week's news is that he smoked a joint and drank some whiskey with Joe Rogan on a podcast, and people are losing their mind on it. I mean, I don't know. Is he under SEC investigation? I don't know. Not wishing it on him or anything like that, but it seems to be a foregone conclusion based on his antics and based on the talk about going private and all that. I don't know. It's very sloppy here. If you want to trade it intraday, I guess, where you can really define micro risks, but on a swing trade basis, I don't know. I can't see it here. I don't see any advantage either way right here. But it does look like if it can break down below this 240 level, I mean, has a little bit of room to run down to the 215 area. So just keep your eye on Tesla if you want, but also there's other fish in the sea. Nothing saying you have to focus just on Tesla. What about Nike? Right? So Nike, which had the Colin Kaepernick scandal, for lack of a better word. So what happened? So they decided to sign Colin Kaepernick and his ad, give up everything, sacrifice everything. I don't, whatever it is. I don't know, and I really don't care. I like to stay out of politics, but I think it's shameful that football players kneel for the national anthem. I just do. Yes, it's their right. I understand that. That is why we are the greatest country in the world, and that's why they're not getting arrested for it. Okay? It is their right to take a knee. All right? But that doesn't mean that those that do take a knee during our national anthem are not assholes in someone's opinion. That's someone being me and a lot of people. And if you disagree, that's fine. That's your opinion. Okay? We're all entitled. It's their right to kneel. It's my right to have an opinion on them. Okay, all protected under that First Amendment, and that's what makes the U.S. the greatest country in the world. Great. I get it. All right? Anyway, now really off my soapbox and talking about the stock. What do I think? Well, I think that, first of all, I think this is one of the most amazing marketing plays, definitely for this year. I don't know about all time, but definitely for this year. It's a great marketing move for Nike. You see people burning their clothes, and I don't understand. I do wear Nike because they fit me the best. I have a stupid, big, wide foot. I'm a 15, so Nikes are basically the only sneaker I can get, the 15 wide, that they fit. I'm not burning my sneakers over it. I don't feel that passionately that that they signed Kaepernick, that I'm protesting it. Again, if you do, that's once again your opinion. But remember, as many people as it's pushing away, it's also attracting those who are backing them up and everything. And this is not really, I guess you would consider it a scandal, but on a kind of minor scale. All right. I mean, look at Volkswagen. Look at all the emissions stuff they were fraudulently reporting. And I read somewhere, and again, I read this, so I didn't do the stat myself, but something like they're the cause of death of between 200 and 500 Europeans every year due to the emissions violations and all that. I don't know. But anyway, they were, a year ago, whatever it was, a year and a half ago, whenever all that happened, they were really in the middle of a crap storm, and they came out shining great with corporate profits up. And so, I mean, that's a scandal. All right, defrauding emission standards and doing all this. This is, at worst, a bad decision. Okay, that's at worst. It's hard to believe this is a scandal, and therefore I think that maybe Nike will have a bad quarter off of this, which we won't see for a while. Like everybody's like, oh, it's reporting the end of the month. Yeah, but that won't be based on this, right? So maybe we'll see that a little bit down the road. But if the fundamentals remain strong, the sales remain strong, and the trend remains strong, there's nothing saying that Nike's going to immediately crash. It did not crash. It pulled back a little bit this week. And I forgot, maybe the news was Wednesday. I don't know. So if it was Wednesday, it's really not down that much off of it, right? So that's my opinion on Nike. I got a lot of emails on it, so I want to talk about it. I mean, I don't see a short here in the stock. And it has nothing to do with if I believe in what they did. Like I said, I'm not pro Colin Kaepernick. I'm not pro the football players still kneeling. If I owned a football team, they would be like, go ahead, kneel, you're getting fined, and I'm fining you here too. Because that's the other thing too. Like a lot of people like Jerry Jones, who a lot of people have a problem with the owner and the GM or whatever he is. He's definitely at least the owner of the Cowboys. He's like, if anybody does that, you're done. You're gone. That's it. You work for me. It's my rules. I get it. And that's great, and I support that. You know, I don't care if other people call him a jerk and much worse names than that. That's awesome that he says that, right? But if I was the owner, I'd be like, yeah. And then you got the Jets guy who's like, well, I'm going to pay their fines. If they get fined, I'm going to pay their fines. I'm like, well, that's ridiculous. What I would do, and this is, again, just what I would do, and I'm not owning a team anytime soon, I would say, you know what? Do whatever you want. You get fined, though, we're also going to give you a fine, too, because we don't need you doing this. We're telling you not to, but we're not going to infringe you from your First Amendment rights, but you're violating the corporate policy, so I'm going to fine you also. Because remember, football team, still a private company, and they can have their own corporate policies. And I don't know why I'm talking so much on this. I guess because of the Flake book and all the other discussions I'm having with a lot of people offline as well about this. It's just, you know, again, I'll leave it with it's their right to do whatever they want, as long as they're not breaking the law, of course. That's why they're not going to prison for it or going to jail for it. But it's my right to not appreciate them doing it. Okay? All right, great. So that's Nike. How about Caterpillar? Okay, Caterpillar's still sloppy. John Deere's still sloppy. Come back to those in a week or so. Our bonds. So are bonds going to break out of this congestion to the downside? Now, eventually they will break out of this congestion because periods of low volatility leads to range expansion. Now, if they were to pop up, interest rates would fall. If they were to fall, of course, interest rates would rise. So right now, it's just in a range, right? And to try to guess which way it's going to go, again, I think it's a futile effort. Here's oil. So oil still holding that July 4th seasonal high right up in there. How about gold? Yeah, gold, I know some people are looking for bottoms here. I'm not. It breached the 78.6. Now it's bouncing back. I think the next time down it goes lower and it tests the December lows. So, update, recap. It is sell Rosh Hashanah time, right? That's a seasonal tendency. It's not in stone, right? But sell Rosh Hashanah by Yom Kippur, so we could continue to see weakness. I put out about the size of what this pullback was here, and that would bring us down to here. There's also the 50-day it could stop at if it were to continue to go lower. And I'm using the S&P, but you can look at these on the other indices as well. All right, watch Friday's high, this inverted hammer here, and if it confirms, if we break it, then we could be on for a test of highs or new highs. I am still looking for the Dow to break out to new highs before this move, at a minimum before this move is over. And that's not me saying once the Dow hits the highs, it's over. I'm not saying that. I'm saying at a minimum, I am looking for the Dow to go to new highs before this is over. I think we're going higher than that. Last week talked about this CGC. What a move. Boom. Got a great email from somebody who was real happy about this one. Looks like it may be setting up in yet another coil here, but this was a really nice fast move. Stock this week to look at is a stock called, stock for this week is Generic Holdings, Inc. So, this stock is a nice, strong stock. Looks like it had the hard bottom back in 2017. Now it's pushing up, and it is forming a power triangle here. So if this could break out, look for this to trade up to 60. Questions? tiny@attackthemarkets.com. Don't forget to sign up for intra-week updates. Hit subscribe and smash that bell to get updates on new videos. And give me a thumbs up if you like what you're hearing. You can also leave comments about anything I talked about today, including your opinion on Nike, your opinion on the Nike ad, your opinion on Kaepernick, your opinion on kneeling. I respect everybody's opinions. Just don't be abusive, and that's fine, right? I have my opinion, you have your opinion, and I'll gladly talk to you about it if you want. If not, hey, I'll talk to you in the intra-week update or in next week's video. Have a great trading week.